So we always on here on the one and only Brother GREgory, Soul Brother number one, the people's champ, true public servant extraordinaire, and the voice of the Most High when it comes to helping our people. How you doing today, sir?
Thank you, my brother. Just happy and here in Atlanta. And it's almost 80 degrees.
That's right.
And these white folks sit around talking about global warming don't exist. And I don't know why black folks argue with them. They got their scientists lying, and the other side got their scientists lying. But all you have to do in the ghetto is say, now, boss, I don't know nothing about this, but I know glaciers been here trillions of years, and they melted. Now, y'all figure it out. I ain't even gonna get into the mess. I'm gonna say this again. Glaciers been here trillions of years, and they caving in. So y'all, what frightens me, someone as stupid and as ungodly and unethical as you to lie about something that once owned me. And so I just thank God, thank you for getting me away from them thugs. Sitting here using scientists, tricky scientific stuff to lie about, all this stuff is happening, strange things is happening, and y'all want to make like it's not. And so you, Darren, and a bunch of y'all are the ones that's messing up. I'm not a danger to them. Y'all are a danger to them because you're putting it out there, and it's going around the world. And they have to change plans. They have to change plans because nobody's ever woke them up. And now they can turn and they can look and see, and they couldn't do this before. And if we stupid enough to believe we know this, and the most powerful people in the world don't know this, me and you, are we stupid enough to believe that ISIS, that ain't got no factories, don't make no planes, don't make no bombs, is taking the whole white nation to a standstill? We are ISIS. What this is about is white supremacy. I was in Iraq during the hostage crisis, and I found something just blew me away, man. Out of the 2.3 billion Muslims on the planet, the average age is 17. Now let me explain this to my grandma. You add up all the ages. If you had 5 people in your room, one was 100, another was 90, and another was 12, you add them together and divide by 3, and that becomes the average age. Now, so these white folks sit back and say, wait a minute, hold it. Wow. Average age? How many babies they have each year, them young folks? How many babies they have in 10 years? How many babies they have in 100 years? How many babies they have in 1,000 years? It will swallow up Christianity, so let's knock them out now. And that's where we're going. And when you look at this stuff, it ain't to make you mad at ISIS, it's to make you mad at Muslims. Muslims. So they'll drop a ball on the Catholic Church at Mass, and that's 2 billion people. So when you start hating, they say, see, white people don't hate dark-complected Negroes, and the light ones they don't have. They don't hate Pole, they hate them all. They don't mean nothing to them. You not me. I say Obama's mama's white, they don't give him credit for that part. You're a nigger, boy. And the reason y'all can't figure this out because it ain't what you think it is. Now let's look at it. They'll drop a bomb on New Year's Eve, New York, kill all them people. They'll send somebody in to poison the salad bars. And when you get through the Muslims here, And all over the world, they'll treat them just like they treated the Japanese American, put them in camps and kill them. That's who this boy is. That's who this boy is. And he's scared. And we're going to sit and debate with him. Like he don't know. He have no idea what this is. He spends trillions of dollars for research in outer space. And you tell me ISIS, a little punk, huh? Came through and his satellites didn't see him? He taking on the mightiest, not army, the mightiest white supremacy army. All of them. That's going against this one guy called Islam, and we created him. He was created and trained by General Mateus. Outside of Iraq. Did it ever dawn on you why the most expensive embassy in the history of the planet, we built it? Huh? We built it. A multi-billion-dollar, you hear me? Our roads is caving in. We built them. Almost $2 billion American embassy. What's that for? Because we're so locked up in this food that anything they say. They teach me and my black woman that we ugly, and we act like we don't buy into it. Why do you think they got $1 billion hustle where you buying all kind of crazy shit to unugly what God did? Huh? Black women walk around with red stuff in their hair. Go to the zoo where you have been taught the animals is wrong and see if you see a gorilla with lipstick on. Huh? Got a big old booty, and everybody says, she's a fine booty. The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy. Put there by God, that's the garbage can. So how you get so messed up with this white boy? You think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. That's like going to Kmart. You see a big old garbage can, that's the filth. And now we can convince her she walks switching that big old booty and all that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there. God made that as the garbage can for your filth. And this white boy done taught us that's some symbol of sexism. Huh? And so when you stop and think about where we are, let's look at California last week. Now, they having a Christmas party for the county workers, but before the party, they have a convention every year. After the convention, the next day, they have the Christmas party. So 98% of everybody at the Christmas party has cell phones. Huh? They put your cell phone before you put your underwear on. Now follow me. Nobody at that party took out their camera. You didn't hear one bullet, one bomb. You hear nobody screaming. You didn't see no blood. And these tricky thugs can make you believe that. And the witness said it was 3 white men. When they panned them cameras into the street, you know, you saw the 3 white boys, then they disappeared. Then they said, well, then they start telling you all the nasty stuff him and his wife had done, and you believe it. Don't you know they said that about us? Is the king was a communist and all that stuff? And even some black folk believe. They tried to make the world and black folk believe that the Nation of Islam killed Malcolm. We've been living with this dog. Excuse me, dogs. And they get by with it. And so when you look at what they're telling us, they said the woman, his wife, when they opened up the trunk of the SUV, she dead but she had handcuffs on. And the FBI said, okay, we take it over the investigation. That means the bald head sheriff, none of them can mention anything now because it's a federal investigation. Federal investigation. So we can deviate for just 1 second and go to the Boston Marathon. They went to little towns and stuff, and everybody was saying some other stuff that the government didn't want said. So they sent 2 white FBI agents in from D.C. to handle an investigation. That means none of them cops and Waterbury and all that stuff. They can't talk about it. And after they finished, they killed both of them. Both of them in Norfolk, Virginia, and said they fell out of a plane. Now, when they was interviewing some of the folks in California, you heard this one lady say, well, I wasn't shocked because they've been here for a few days. The government holding exercises with live ammunition. So we just thought that was part of the exercise. See how it works? And so when you stop and think about, they interviewing all their friends, and none of them said they had a bad attitude. None of them say that we're not surprised. That's why they killed you. And you folks sitting there looking at this here, you believe this nasty, dirty, and modern guilt, and you believe Brother Greg. Well, you pay for that. I don't need you to validate me. I know what they're doing. You don't. But that's what's fixing to happen. And you can see how they're making people angry at Muslims. And then they keep saying, well, all Muslims, they say that when they be lynching us. All black folks ain't the same. They wake up in the morning thinking, I want a white woman. Now, let me show you something. You out here, you in Memphis.
Yes, sir.
You go to concerts. Stevie Wonder came to town today and sold out a 15,000, 20,000 arena. 98% of black men is there with black women. Now, don't have to take my word.
Right.
I'm telling you, go look at it. So what is it about a white woman that mess up you black women so bad, you think all black men want women? And we've never asked you the question, how you get so yellow? We're not talking about slavery. We know what's happening to you on the job. I know what happened to my mama. They're out there trying to feed the children and screwing this white boy, and then you want to jump up in our face. Don't take my word for it. I've never had a white woman. Not because of love for a black woman. I never had a white woman because I'm scared of them. I went to the movie. I saw Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein. They came out of her belly. What I want to go in there for? And so one way you black women got to understand one thing. Every day of the week, y'all having sex with her. We don't come. I'm telling you as a black man, we don't sit around and discuss what white boy you screwing. So what is it about a white lady that makes you feel so uneasy? You badmouther, talk about, well, they don't do nothing but get out rich white men. What difference do it make? I'm telling you what I see. Where I travel, where I go. I'm not some little punk that sits in Gooseneck, Tennessee all my life and listen to some craziness, right? Now, where did yellow black folk come from? Slavery. Rape. I'm talking about these new black folks that's being born. You black, your husband black. You black, your boyfriend black, and all that crap. You're going to meet him after work and do this and do that. And I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying, how crazy can you be? How crazy can you be? But here's what I'm saying. Go to a concert, packed, and see how many black men you see with black women, and then you know what kind of fool you are. Why do white women frighten you so bad? You know they ugly. You know they got them spots on themselves from the sun. And understand one thing, white folks ain't talking about a sun black, they're talking about a sun tan. And so when you stop and think about, we go back to Baltimore. Black police chief, fired. the black mayor. I mean, the president thought the sun rise on the black mayor of Baltimore. She said she ain't gonna run again. What kind of film do them white folks have, the police? Huh? I'm not talking about film that's legitimate. I went to the movie and saw Superman fly. I went to the movie and saw a man turn into a wolf. So I know how tricky he is. But what I'm saying now is, what is it that you buy in to this mess without any evidence other than it's coming from the slave master? How is it black folks can do drugs sold to you by their great-grandsons of the slave master, and don't assume what they're putting in it? Huh? Don't assume what they're putting in your cocaine. Don't assume it. But when it comes my turn, you want to question me. Huh? Okay. And so a lot of stuff I see now I wouldn't say if it wasn't for you and these folks out here that do their homework. Why? Because when you bug the internet, that's white folks telling you. Okay? That people come and say, I heard you say this to me, I thought you was crazy. I might still be crazy. How come? Because your ignorance got a piece of truth. I ain't crazy no more. I tell you all the time on this show, if my mama listened and heard the stuff I was saying, she would call the police. Huh? You hear me? Yes, sir. And so somewhere, the whole plan is to wipe out Muslims. And if you think Roosevelt didn't know about December the 7th, 1941, when the Japanese, let me show you how it works, man. There's a corridor out there when you're traveling, and you got to stay within those bounds, okay? Or the insurance company's not going to insure you. So we the only people had a plane, the B-52, that could leave America and fly all the way to Tokyo and come back. So they had to bring theirs over on aircraft carriers. You mean somebody didn't see all them planes headed and wondered, Jesus, what's this about? Now let's go back and look at the blue code, the Japanese blue code. They said they ain't never ran across a code that hard to crack. The Japanese blue code. So they bugging everything. America. They cracked, Hoover and them cracked the blue code 18 months before Pearl Harbor. And they're going to tell somebody they didn't know nothing about it. Roosevelt knew. Matter of fact, when Roosevelt signed the Declaration of War, December 7, 1947, he was so coked out, his wife had to sign it. Did you know that? No. His wife had to sign it. And so when you sit and think about what they knew, so that they can do the same thing now to Muslims. Look at the disrespect they have even for their friends and even for their suckers. The Pope came to America and put on one of the grand exhibitions of white supremacy. You didn't see him with no young white men, just old white men. You see one woman in his entourage. I want y'all to hear this good. The Pope Mobile, he kept jumping out, going, picking up, hugging white, crippled children. The Pope. He went to Africa 2 weeks ago, and you ain't seen him pick up one child. And we don't see that. Okay? Everywhere they went, his whole schedule was off, picking up white children. But not one black child. Did he pick up? And so when you sit, I'm born in 1932. There were no black priests. There were no black nuns. There was a lot of black church people in the Catholic Church. What? Well, I'm going to put him over there, the nuns are handling. That's what I heard black folk talk about. That'll change his behavior. You send me to a place where the white priest been ripping off little boys' booty for 1,000 years, but you gonna send me there for my behavior because you too ignorant to know what they doing. Huh? The nuns will take care of it. That's like somebody saying the Ku Klux Klan, not comparing them, but somebody you don't even know. And one question somebody gonna ask, if the Catholic men have been wiping out little boys' booty for over 1,000 years, you mean the nun ain't never touched the titty? Well, y'all crazy. Huh? Now let me tell you how it works. Because you got people who will lie. All these settlements that start coming out, you think there ain't a white woman out there that would lie? Huh? And say, let me tell you what the nun did to me. So that means what's happening? It means if a nun reports that, they kill the person. Okay, who said the nun did it? Okay, that's yourself for thousands of years, man. February the 2nd, 2013. It can be hard to remember because that's Groundhog Day. February the 2nd, 2013. The Bank of Italy suspended all Vatican credit cards around the world because it was laundering drug money, it was laundering little bitty girls, and it was laundering CIA vicious money. And the Bank of Sweden had to come in and give them a giant loan, which they charged them twice as much. This is the, you understand? And so consequently, when you stop and think about where we are now, you look around and all these white children for the last 15, 20 years wake up in the morning, brilliant students. Chucky going down to pick up his best friend, they were riding bicycles to school. Then they get there and say they want to blow up the whole school. Nice students, mother and father, PhDs, huh? Never been to jail, and y'all sucker enough to believe that. And now they're where they are now. You had some Somalians pirating the mightiest navies in the world. It wasn't just America. Anyone come around that line, they jumped on them. And that country ain't got 5 rowboats, man. And you gonna challenge the greatest navies in the world and get by with it? Cause some white boy told you? Didn't they do a movie about it? So what was that about? The plane that disappeared. Malaysia. About $5 trillion of research go into putting that plane together. And you mean they didn't know what a plane was? The plane is in GREgory. Now why do I tell you that? Because that's where the Malaysian airline going to land, but the runways is not large enough. So they have these Negro Africans out there stealing ships. So when you see all these white ships out there, you never dawn you they're building a bigger runway. The justification is these black folks that don't make cigarette paper. Huh? They don't make caps for bullets, flay bullets. But they told you, this, and that's what they do. Now, after enough shows like this and enough folks said, no, we ain't buying that. Then here's what happened. We wake up one day, one month ago, say, oh, we found the wing. The wing. Where? Well, it's way back up here in this area. They had no lights, no electric, no newspapers, no television. They ain't had nothing. But they found, well, how did they know what it was? Since they so ignorant and so far in the backwoods, how did they know who to call? If you don't have a telephone, if you don't have cable, who to call? And how did you know what that was since you ain't never seen it before? See how it works? And so when you stop and think about what they're telling us and what they're fixing to do, you see white boys on TV say, buy one suit, get 7 free. You know the economy's mirrored. You look at the Wall Street Journal, huh? And so when you stop and think about what they're doing, anger. You don't need to stop let white people compare you to the Jews. The Jews been out of slavery for 5,000 years. We haven't made 300 years out of slavery. And when the Jews was viciously went through that dehumanization, but the Germans, they weren't slaves. They was prisoners. They weren't slaves. Huh? So you say, well, look what the Jews did. You've been 300 years. The Jews didn't do none of that 300 years out of slavery. Huh? Okay. And so now we sit and we look. One of my daughters went to Georgetown Law School. I said, hey, Papa, you got anything to tell me? I said, yep. You go there and you be sitting with 5th generation Jewish lawyers. They daddies were lawyers. They heard terms in the crib that you never heard to use in that law school and heard a professor say it. So they won't act to stuff like you because this is your first time. And so when you stop and think about it, let your role in there. When I was a little boy, this was one of the biggest movie empires in the world. Jews put it together, but they couldn't get a Jew to play a leading man because they wasn't permitted. Some of the richest people in New York, when I hit it big, and when they were Jews. But there were places in New York they couldn't go to. Barbara Streisand, you know how young she is when she hit. Do you know when that girl was a big star, a Jew couldn't live in Park Avenue? They had signs, no Jews or dogs. She was the first one to live there on Park Avenue. Okay? But they got us believing the Jews do all the dirty work. Come on. It's a game. None of us seem to understand because that's what that ignorant white boy told us. And so when you stop and think about what they're doing now, it's to wipe out Islam because we're scared of it. And they'll take black folks to go with them like every war we went to. I couldn't be free. I couldn't vote. Come on, kill this Vietnamese. Don't ask no questions, boy. Just come on over here. One of the most interesting stories in our prison. When the Japanese surrendered, the AP got there late. So they collected 5 people, that famous thing where you see the flags being raised. Yeah. That didn't happen. It happened, but they didn't get a picture, so they faked it with 5 people. 3 of them committed suicide. The lie was too big. Okay, they died horrible deaths. That's the press. That's the fakeism. And so now we here, and if you look at Baltimore, they said our little precious high school students went into the pharmacy and stole drugs. Well, let me tell you something about our little precious high school students. If you ever had a prescription filled at the pharmacy, when you give it to the pharmacy, they don't know what it is. They got to pull 3 or 4 drawers. So how do my children know where it is and go right to it? And nobody told us there's a federal law that says all narcotics in pharmacy have to be on the lock and key. How'd they know where it was and where'd they get the key? Shame on you black folks. I'm not surprised because I had a mother that was more ignorant than you, that let white folk get by with anything and talk about how she felt about Jesus. And so again I say that what's fixing to come down, the universal God done tried to show it to you, and y'all didn't hear it. When they blew up the church in South Carolina. I went out the next day checking out restaurants to see if the Negroes had lost their appetite. Nobody called up and canceled reservations. So now I'm looking at it. So this little nutty white boy never finished grade school, but he knew that black folks had service on Wednesday night. So now he gets in his car, so he want to kill some Negroes. And he drives 120-some miles. You know how many black churches he passed? That church where the stuff went down. That's a famous black church. That's where Juneteenth was invented. Celebrated on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of June. Deval Vizzy, the great revolutionist. You heard of how big and how white folks were scared of him. Well, who was his partner? Morris Brown. Morris Brown. So the reason white folks was able to stop the rebellion, somebody in the group snitched. Huh? So what happened? They rounded up 16 people, and Morris Brown wasn't one of them, and shot them dead on the corner that day. Well, how come Morris Brown? Was he the snitch? He ends up having a black college named after him. Was he the snitch? And so what we're looking at, and I want you black folks to hear this. South Carolina, capital, passed legislation 2 days later that a black church in Charleston, South Carolina, could not have a church service without 1 or 2 white men at the service, or it would be shut down and everybody there would be arrested as a felon. That lasted for over 50 years. Now, you had a grandmother that the World Press reported said to her 6-year-old grandchild, lay down and play dead. The grandmother was killed, so who told the world what she told the 6-year-old? The 6-year-old held a press conference. You had the white boy said that a black woman, he said, I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to let you live to tell the story. Man, I'd arrest her without a trial. Here's a black woman that ain't never met this white boy. And she said, after he loaded the 5th time, she said, why are you doing this to these people? What kind of black woman is that? Here's a white boy you ain't never met, and you stand by and watch him kill all these people, and you didn't get scared? I'd put her in jail without a trial. She had to know him. She had to know him. And so when you stop and think about what they give us and how they give it to us, Here's a church. I called your man in South Carolina.
Uncle Frenchie, yeah.
I said, hey man, what time did y'all get the report? He said 11 o'clock. The report went out at 6 minutes after 9 that night. And I said, well, wait a minute, man. You got a newspaper? The wire service that the white folks use, you didn't use? He said, they didn't get it to me neither. Then we found out the FBI got there at 9:20. Cops didn't get there until after 10 o'clock. Okay? So it's obvious that something's going down there, right? Then we look at Chicago. The mayor ain't nothing but a thug and a punk and a vicious tramp. Rob Emanuel. Rob Emanuel went to Washington, D.C. with the president. They ran Emanuel out of there. He got there with the real Barracudas. So somebody said, well, can he leave with dignity? Yep. So the next day, Justice Department, the real thug got in touch with Mayor Daley. And so you got to step down today. We got somebody else going to fill this slot, or you die. And so, unbeknownst to anybody, Mayor Daley had to pick out, I'm not running no more. And that's a Rob Emanuel. Now, Rob Emanuel didn't win the primary since Chicago had the primary in early February because it's the coldest time of the year. And they say black folks ain't coming out when it's cold. They got this down to a science. So Rob Emanuel lost to an unheard of Mexican. Now police scandal, and they got to hide it. Rob Emanuel is in office now because of the black vote. The black vote. And so that's what they was hiding. What had happened? Then they released the pictures, but before they released the pictures, they told you that the youngster was shot in the street. Then we see the picture. Next time you pull it up, don't look at the picture, look at the squad cars. There's 4 of them around the killer. But he was the only one shooting. What did he see that them other white boys didn't see that he thought his life was threatened? And then I talked to a forensic scientist and I said, when 11 people were massacred in a church, what do you all do to make sure there wasn't no other people involved? And how long would it take? He said, about 6 months. This happened on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Church was open 3 days.
Right.
How did you clean up the blood? How did you investigate the splattered blood on the wall? You didn't. Now, if we look at this young black man, he's walking fast down the street. Pow, pow. He gets hit twice. He hits the ground. He dead. Cops say he shot 14 other times. What cop in America, to you cops out there, shoot so well that he can shoot 16 out of 16 with a gun that only has 15 bullets? It's not a 16 gunshot. 15 bullets that he used to shoot this brother 16 times with a gun that only shoots 15 times.
That's it. All right, go ahead.
And so when you look at the picture of him laying dead in the street, then there was 14 other bullets that he didn't flinch. If you took a garbage can out there and then shot it 15 times, it'll move. So how come a dead man don't move when you shooting it? Or was he dead when they brought him there? Is this about more than we think it is? And then the cops removed the tape from Burger King and brought it back the next day, 17 minutes missing. NBC ain't really talking about that. You hear me? And then the other Dunkin' Donuts, they took the film, they never brought them back. And so I'm saying to you, I know it, NBC know it, CBS know it, but ain't nobody telling it to you but Liberation Radio folks. So get ready, have fun quick. The recess is just about over for you. So that's where we are. And it's about a Muslim thing. Come on! And then 6 months later, we apologize. Oh my God, I didn't know we'd react that way. Come on now. And so the banks is in trouble. And so again, I just say to you and brothers and sisters like you, they'll never get away with what they've been getting away with because they got some people that can take care of it. And so again, I'm saying that when you look at excuse me, I just had general surgery. And so consequently, again, let me show you something, how the real God works. When the Jews was in slavery and the Romans was in slavery, those were races of people enslaved. When the African was enslaved, that was a continent. And we so ignorant, we say, I'm going to Africa. That's a continent. Where you going? Now follow me. A continent was just like the white continents. Europe is a continent, but in it is the British, the French, Germans. They hated one another. It was the wars, the Roman wars, the British wars. They fought one another. Now, you look at Africa, they didn't enslave Africans, they enslaved tribes that didn't like one another. The Igbos didn't like the Obos. You can't marry my daughter. You can't do this here. And when they brought them over here and put them in one box, and nobody saw that I don't like you, I've been hating you for thousands of years. Because the white man owned me, he's not going to let the tribe over here attack this tribe over here because that's his property. So for 300 years, we have been forced to maintain a relationship with somebody that I looked at the same way the decent people looked at Nazis. Because, so now you, Captain Kachi P, you put me in with so-and-so, I better not fight. That's your property. Now, for the first time in the history of the planet, you got a continent come together, and because the white man wouldn't let me kill you or go through all of my craziness, I like you now. And so we sitting here now with the best of everything those tribes had. And that's what's simply be unleashed on this white boy. The best of the haters couldn't hate no more because I was this ignorant white boy's property. That's how it works. And so that's what we fixing to look at. He don't know this. When this white boy said, if you got 1 30-second, what?
Drop a black blood.
You black, right?
Right.
Do you know black folks didn't hear what they said? Huh? It said if you got 1/32 of black blood in you, you black. And what he was saying to the white folks, in order to become equal to him, you have to put 32 white folks next to you. That's what they were saying. They wasn't putting us down. If you have $1 and pennies, that's 100 pennies. To make $1. Anything short of that is not going to make it. That's who we are. That's who we are. And that white boy know it. And the beauty. When that white boy said to me, after he had done to me what no human had ever had, but he looked at me and knew I was so pure and godly, he said, I'd like for you to take care of my children. I'd like for you to take care of this house. I mean, think about that, man.
Yes, sir.
He looked at me and saw something in me and my woman, that he's not afraid of us because he don't see that hatred in us. We see it.
Yes, sir.
And deal with it with each other, but it's too late now. And so I'm just glad that I'm here to get to see it. How much time have we got?
We got another minute. Whatever you want to talk about, we got another.
Well, let me just finish with this here and then call Leo, and then we'll do another question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you what's happening. He looked at me and didn't see hate. So I was with his children when he wasn't there. I cooked his food when he didn't have guns on me. And he came home and he ate it. He knew there had never been another person put here by the universal God that's as loving and kind as me. He knows that, but I don't know it. You look at all that killing in Chicago, that's him. There's an article, and I'll pull it up, or you can pull it up in the next show.
Yes, sir.
Where in the early 1950s, the white intelligence went to a little village outside of France and put LSD and some other mixtures in the wheat.
Yes, sir.
And then white folks started going crazy, started thinking there was mountains and plains and jumping off and committing suicide. They did that in the 50s. What do you think they got now that they're putting in my neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
What do you think they have now that they're doing that? Lead and manganese, and once you get enough of that, you'll kill your mama. It's called chemtrails. And so all of that is a combination of what they're doing with technology. And so it's not going to work because we into that other order. Silicon Valley, that's that new group of children, the indigo children. They go there broke and end up worth $2 billion. And can't nothing stop it. And so again, I just say to you, man, instead of me doing another hour, when I finish this show and get back home, I have Leo call you.
Yes,
and we do part 2.
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
And so y'all just hang on there and stay well and keep sending this brother love and all the rest of them out here. And finally, I say this. 12 noon every day, y'all say a prayer to the universe that the truth will come out. That the truth will come out, what GREgory said. Now let me tell you what that means. I didn't ask y'all to pray to the universal God that built everything in the whole universe, that what I'm saying will be proven true. I said, if them white folks with all their lies is telling you they're right, then I'm just saying pray that it comes out. If I'm lying, pray that I come out. Now you can play with the church, but you can't play with God. So y'all, and don't get into the more long, drawn out bullshit prayers that y'all be saying. Just pray to the universal God that what we talk, and then you black folks will see how powerful you are. Then you see the truth. Then you see the truth will come out that there'll be no more elections this year. Okay? And then you see how powerful you are. So again, me and Paul Mooney is getting ready to go down the road and do this show and just thank God. Everybody come out and support us. And I mean, so when you stop and think about the brilliance of Paul Mooney, that most folks don't know because he's a bad boy, because he didn't behave himself. He told you the truth and opened up shackles in your head. So again, I thank you, my brother. I cannot tell you how much when Eddie Murphy and all them folk came in to be honored, all of them was telling me how they look at you on YouTube. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And so again, I just say thank you. And to those of you that send sympathy to the family, it meant a lot to my wife and to my daughter's mother. And so I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We love you, madly, brother.
Thank you,
GREgory. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.